Hi, good afternoon. My name is David McBride. I'm the Vice Principal Enrollment Management at Upper Canada College, and it's a real honor and a privilege for me to speak to you today about our independent school leading financial assistance program. And I'm recording this about a week after our open house dates, and certainly there were a lot of questions about financial assistance, so we wanted to take an opportunity to share a little bit more information with you today. So again, thank you for watching, and hopefully this will be informative. Um, Quickly, this is me. I've been at Upper Canada College since 2012, and I guess the thing that I want to say is that I came to UCC in large part because of the financial assistance program at the college, and believe so strongly in that program, and in the college wanted to give more boys and more families an opportunity to enjoy UCC. I started in 2012. It's now 2019, and every day I'm excited and happy to be working at this wonderful institution. Just a little bit about UCC. In case you are still relatively new to learning about the college, we are one of the oldest schools in the country, founded in 1829, which makes we're in our 191st year this year. And we have been a boys' school since 1829, and believe very strongly in boys' education. We are an IB school, IB World School, actually a continuum school now, offering the IB from senior kindergarten through to year 12. And we have 88 boarding students who actually represent 29 countries as of our last count. And we have over 12,500 alumni in more than 80 countries around the world. So our reach is on a pretty high scale. UCC is located in Toronto at St. Clair and Avenue Road in north of downtown Toronto on 35 acres of space. And we have a wonderful campus, two main buildings, two hockey rinks. We also have an outdoor education school 40 minutes north of the city that is a wonderful opportunity for our boys. And as you know, this financial assistance is an important piece of who we are as a school. And about 20% of our student body receives financial assistance. And our budget for this year, for 2021, will be about $5.4 million. So again, an industry-leading financial assistance program in Canada. Just really briefly, again, if you were at open house or if you look at our material, you would have seen our vision, mission, and values. And our new principal, Sam McKinney, who started, he's in his fourth year now, one of his first tasks was looking at strategic directions and where we were going as a college. And we spent a great deal of time talking about vision, mission, and values. And I think the concept of best self, and really inspiring each boy to be his best self is an important part of who we are and something that we live on a daily basis. The pluralism and promise of Canada certainly is reflected in I think in our student body and the diversity of our student body, and we work hard every day to ensure that we really are a global leader in the education of boys. Our mission statement: we provide a transformational learning experience that fosters the development of head, heart, and humanity, and inspire each boy to make a lasting and positive impact on his world. I think that's a really important and means a great deal to us as a college. We do hope that we're developing boys who will make a very positive impact on his world, both here locally, nationally, and internationally as well. And the five values that we really every day try to focus on and live by. Obviously, learning. We're an educational institution, so learning, of course, is one of our great values. Pluralism, which is more than diversity, important aspect. Service, and our boys have a number of opportunities to be involved in meaningful service in the city and around the world. Community, we really are a community of learners, a community where families become part of the UCC family when they're admitted here, and there's a very, very strong sense of community and brotherhood, and well-being is I think an important, very important value, and one that we focus on a great deal. I think there's no question that every family wants to ensure that their sons are doing well academically, or doing well socially, or doing well physically, and are strong emotionally as well. So well-being is a major focus for the college right now and moving forward. So that's just a bit of basics about UCC, but I'm really today want to talk about our financial assistance program, and it really is, as I said, an industry leading program. In 2001, so before I arrived here, but 2001, the college made a significant commitment to increase the amount of financial assistance available to students, to ensure that the school was accessible to high potential boys. And there's no question that as tuition fees rise year over year, it becomes more and more difficult for families to afford the college. So the leadership of the school at the time made a real commitment to this. And I'm happy to say that, in 2019, we awarded over $5 million to families in financial assistance. And that is the largest amount awarded by any Canadian independent school. So we are proud of this. And I think we're also proud that a number of schools are also, I would say, following the lead of UCC and are starting to invest as well in financial assistance and making their schools more accessible. As I mentioned, we award over $5 million, and 98% of that $5 million is needs-based financial assistance. So sometimes I hear from families, my neighbor, his son received a hockey scholarship at UCC or received an academic scholarship at UCC. There are no athletic scholarships at UCC. There are no academic scholarships at UCC. 98% of the money that we spend is based on need and need alone. We do have a number of one-time awards for some of our top applicants each year into the different year levels, so into year 5, 6, 7, and 9. And those are $8,500 one-time awards for some of our top candidates. So if there is a merit, if someone talks about merit, that is the only merit award that is available, and it's a one-time award on admission, and no application is required for these one-time merit awards right now. It's something that our admissions committee makes a decision about. And again, I just mentioned that financial assistance is available for Canadian residents who are applying to year 5 and above, both for day and for boarding. And this is a decision that was made by the board a number of years ago that our financial assistance program, while it's very generous, is really focused on Canadian residents. And I'm not sure if that will change down the road, but for the time being, anyone who's applying must be Canadian residents. So I've been at the college since 2012. So I just want to speak to what I'm most aware of, which is since 2012 we have met the demonstrated need of all students admitted to UCC for year 5 and above, who've applied, been accepted to the college, and whose application for financial assistance has been assessed by Apple Financial Services, which is the independent third party that we use. So if a family or if a boy has been admitted to the college, they have applied for financial assistance, and there is demonstrated need, we have met that need. Now, I do want to be very clear. A number of families, when they apply for financial assistance, will ask for much higher amounts. Apple Financial does an assessment. We do a little bit of an assessment as well, but we really stick with what Apple Financial, these are the professionals. They do this for a number of schools in the country. They're really, really strong at assessing the need that's available, that's required for a family, and we have met that need every year since 2012. And our average financial assistance awards for this past year, so for 2019 admission, just under $20,000 for a day, and $45,500 for boarding. So these are fairly significant amounts, and there really is a range. So if I think about what I know for 2019, I think the range that the smallest financial assistance award was about $5,000, and the largest financial assistance award is full tuition and fees. So it's based on need. If your son is admissible, we choose to admit him, we will meet the need that is assessed by Apple Financial Services. And we are very proud that approximately 20% of our student body at the college receives financial assistance. So on the day side, it's 100. There's 198 boys who and families who are receiving financial assistance. So it's a large program. It is a very generous program, and a number of families are certainly taking advantage of this wonderful opportunity. We do make sure that the assessments are done, and the assessments need to be in, so that when we make our offers of admission, we are able to also provide you with a financial assistance offer. So, really important dates to keep in mind. You need to stick to the deadlines for applying for Apple Financial Services, because we make our offers on the 21st of February for day, and we make our decisions for boarding beginning in December, but most of the offers are made between January and April, or maybe into May, and we need those assessments. So it's not an option, not an opportunity to be accepted to the school and then to say, oh, we'd like to apply for financial assistance at this point in time. You can't do that. You can ask, but you can't do that. We'd say, we're happy to have your son here this year. If you want to apply for financial assistance, you will need to apply for financial assistance for the following year. And I think it's also important to understand that our financial assistance offers are made annually. So if your son receives an offer of admission and an offer of financial assistance, that is for instance, that would be for the 2021 academic year, you would need to reapply for financial assistance the following year. And we ask for a reapplication because situations change. Jobs may change, income may change. There may be other children who are heading off to independent schools. So there is an assessment done each year, and you need to reapply each year. And certainly the finance office at the college does a wonderful job of making sure that families are aware, reminded frequently to reapply in the fall. And we do our assessments for returning students first, and then we assess for new students afterwards. So in terms of applying for financial assistance, as I said, I hope that you'll consider applying to Upper Canada College, and we have an online application process. There is another application process required for financial assistance, and we use a company, as I mentioned earlier, called Apple Financial Services. And Apple works with most of the independent schools in Canada and really do a wonderful job of making these, really fair, really accurate assessments for the schools to use. It's $120 to apply to Apple Financial for an assessment for the first school that you're applying to. And I know that a lot of families are applying to more than one school, and so there's a $15 fee for each additional school that you are applying to. And the application is online with Apple, and it's a fairly rigorous process. And I hope that families can understand and expect that it is going to be a rigorous process when when we're talking about the kinds of funds that we're looking at. When our average award last year for day was just under $20,000. It is a rigorous process, and I'm not a mathematician, and I hate doing my taxes, but in a lot of respects, applying with Apple Financial is like doing your taxes. So it's really important, and they're great helpful hints on their website to help you with the admission, with the registration process, and to help you with the assessment process. It really is important that you have all of the information, all of your financial information and documents sort of ready to go before you begin that process. It's not something that you necessarily have to sit down and do just once. You can take a few days to do it or what have you, but really it's important to have all of that information available when you start the process. And for families applying to the college, your application for financial assistance through Apple Financial Services must be in by December 31st. So Apple Financial needs to have received your application for financial assistance by December 31st. So you need to apply to Upper Canada College by December 3rd, Apple Financial Services by December 31st. And for our boarding families, Canadian boarding families, you have to have, if you're interested in financial assistance, we need to have an assessment done by Apple Financial Services before we will make an offer of admission. So please, if you're considering the school for boarding, I think the $120 application to Apple Financial Services could be very well worth your while. So please get that in. And look, just a reminder, and I work at a boys' school, so we have to remind the boys of this all the time. This is really a rigorous and thorough process. So please don't leave it till the last minute. Trying to do this on December 31st when you probably want to be celebrating New Year's Eve is not the best idea. So try to give yourself some time and get it in as soon as possible. And certainly the Apple Financial Services website is up and running and is accepting applications for the 2020 academic year. As I said earlier, I think their website and we're in close contact with AFS, with Apple Financial, and they've really improved their website, and I think really try to provide a lot of really helpful information to help you as you go through the process of applying, because it is an important process and it can be a bit daunting for some families. Just please understand, though, that if you are having challenges completing their application, Apple Financial Services takes care of this piece. We don't take care of the assessment. We don't take care of their website. So if you're having issues, please follow their website and communicate directly with Apple Financial Services to make sure that you get everything straightened away and are on the right track. Also understand that when you complete this assessment, Apple Financial Services is not going to be communicating with you. They will not be communicating with you to tell you, oh, this is our assessment. Apple Financial communicates directly with the college, and with our finance office in particular. And I want you to understand that these assessments are held in the strictest confidence. There really is only 2 or 3 people in the college who have any knowledge of who's applied, who's qualified for information, and in fact, I will tell you that I do not personally even see your application for financial assistance. So we do understand that this can be a challenging process for some families, but we do hold this information in the strictest confidence at the college. I think it's also important for you to understand that applying for financial assistance is not going to hurt your application to the college. In fact, we make our admissions decisions with no knowledge of whether or not you've made a financial assistance application. So we operate I think in the US, what a lot of schools would say is a needs-blind manner. So our team makes admissions decisions. We decide on the class that we would like to admit to the college. We then take that information. I actually take that information to the Financial Assistance Committee. We go through that list and we identify this is a family who's applied for financial assistance. This is what they've requested. This is what they qualify for. And we match that up and we make our offers for acceptance and we make our offers for financial assistance at the same time. But again, I want to be very, very clear. Applying for financial assistance does not hurt your application to the college. We don't even actually know if you've submitted an application for financial assistance when we assess for admission to the college. So this is a program that we are proud of, that we believe has helped bring fantastic young men and their families to the college. It's a huge point of pride. So I would strongly encourage, if you think that your family might qualify for some financial assistance, please do apply for financial assistance. Just some tips, and I've already talked a little bit about this. And again, these are tips that sort of we've taken from Apple Financial Services, but really make sure that you try to gather all the information you need before completing the forms. So tax returns, documentation, any previous applications for financial assistance. And again, I recommend you go to the FAQ website on Apple Financial Services and make sure that you've got the information that you need. Please, again, don't wait till December 31st to try to do this on New Year's Eve. Plan to spend about 4 hours in total to complete the forms, and do your best to ensure that it's error free, because an error can really have an impact on the assessment. And really, we stick to that deadline. We stick to our admissions deadline of December 3rd, and we really stick to the deadline of requiring families to have their information at Apple Financial Services by the 31st. So you can submit an application to Apple now, anytime between now and the 31st of December, and be sure to hit submit, and you will get an acknowledgement of receipt of your completed application. This is just a table that we share on the website, and it doesn't include as many factors, of course, as we would like, but I think what it does is it certainly shows you the range of gross family income and a sense of how much financial assistance they are receiving. As I said, there are a lot of factors that play into how much assistance you'll be receiving that aren't shown on this table. So number of children, size of your mortgage, other salaries here, gross incomes here, but other expenses. So this is just really to give you a little bit of guidance. But I think also to demonstrate that I think about 37% of families who are receiving financial assistance here, their gross family income is over $180,000. So if you're somewhere in the range of the income that you're seeing on this chart, we would strongly encourage you to consider applying for financial assistance. So hopefully this table gives you a little bit of a sense of what you might expect. But again, this is not taking into account all of the factors that go into an assessment, and should just be used as a very simple guide and starting point. I've already mentioned that decisions around financial assistance are really made by a very small committee. So there's 3 people that are involved and are held in really strict confidence. So please be confident in knowing that we understand that for some families, this is not something that they want publicly known, and we hold your privacy as very important, and really do our best to make sure that it's held in tight confidence. Sometimes families will receive an offer of admission, receive a financial assistance offer, and will call and say, "Is there more? Could there be more money?" Typically, I would say 99% of the time, maybe 99.5% of the time, the offer that's made is based on that assessment, and it's really based on the maximum that we, as a college, can provide. So there is very, very little change. But if you feel that the assessment is way out of whack, then we would encourage you to communicate directly with Apple Financial Services. And there has been the rare time, and it's a very rare time, where maybe there was a piece of information missing, or Apple Financial may not have understood exactly what was being, how information had been sent to them, and things have changed. But it's very, very rare, and we do our best to ensure that we provide the maximum amount that a family qualifies for. I also want you to understand that in the application for Apple, it asks you to list some of the additional costs, so travel costs, athletic costs, or what have you. That information is available in the financial handbook on our website. And again, it'll help you as a little bit of a guide on what you can expect. So that the amount that you receive from Apple Financial takes that into consideration. As a college, we will provide additional support to students who are involved in athletics or extracurricular activities at the varsity level. So, if these are boys who are in year 11 and 12, they're playing at a varsity level in sports or Model UN or what have you, there can be additional support. There will be additional support for students at the varsity level that is in a ratio similar to that of the financial assistance received. So what do I mean by that? If playing on a sports team costs $1,000 in expenses for playing on the sports team, and as a family, you're receiving about 50% of the tuition fees in financial assistance. 50% of those fees will be covered as well. Those additional fees will be covered as well. But again, that's only for students who are involved in activities or sports at the varsity level. Below that, a lot of those fees are much lower, and they are taken into consideration when Apple Financial does that assessment. And I've provided a link here. It's on our website as well. So the college has a financial handbook that we hope, will provide a little bit of insight into, what some of those additional costs are, and will be helpful as you plan, the looking at the expenses and what have you for your son to be a student here. We're happy to answer any questions that you may have. Our Office of Admission, we've got a great team here. I work with a wonderful team of individuals, and we work very hard to make sure that we provide accurate and timely information to you. So I want to encourage you that if you have questions, to feel free to send an email to the general admission email or to call our admission office. And if you have specific questions about the Apple Financial process, we don't work for Apple Financial Services. They provide amazing service to us, but we don't actually work for them. And it's really best for you to speak with them directly. And again, certainly my experience since 2012 is they're a wonderful organization. They do wonderful work for us, and they do wonderful work for you as families. And I think want to be as helpful as they can be. Our website has a lot of really important information, and I'm sure that you've probably spent a little bit of time on our website, and encourage you to get to know us a little bit more through that website. And also just again, a reminder, I would be remiss if I didn't remind you that our application deadline for day students is December 3rd. So it's really imperative that your application to UCC is in before or on December 3rd. And if you're considering applying for financial assistance, then your application needs to be into Apple Financial Services by December 31st. And those really are very hard deadlines that we stick by. I want to thank you for taking time to listen to this webinar today. This is the first webinar that I've done. So hopefully it is informative and helps to answer some of the questions that may be lingering around financial assistance and what we're able to offer at the college. And we certainly look forward to getting to know your family and your son a little bit more through the process. So again, thank you very much, and best of luck with your applications to Upper Canada College.